joining. You can ask me some general queries because I have prepared some tips, some guidelines that I will give you in another 15 minutes. But before that, any queries you have, any general queries, you can ask me, you can comment. And so approximately, I think you people have around 1 month to 45 days to 2 months, I think you have for preparation. Ankit, I will come to DAF. That is something I have already prepared. Order of department, yes, I will talk to you on that I have prepared for you all. Any other query, any general query you have? In another 5 minutes, I will start discussing whatever I have prepared for you. But till then, let people gather. Okay, Dinesh, you have started MTech in IIT. If you have started just now, then it's better not to mention because I think that they will ask you many questions that why you want to leave and then why did you give engineering service if you want to do MTech and all. Okay, it's good if you don't mention, but still if you are able to mention it and take it positively, like you can still mention it and make it as a positive point in the interview. That is possible, then yeah, I should mention it. But as of now, I think if you have recently joined, there is no need of mention. Yes, you can ask for general queries for like another 5 minutes. I'll start and then I'll start giving you guidelines and tips. And what all I followed in my preparation, that I'm going to tell you directly today. Okay, all of you, but just note down the points, whatever I will tell you. Don't just forget them, just note it down somewhere. And for interview preparation, also, you should prepare one book. Like you have prepared notes for theory preparation, you should prepare one interview preparation book in which all the relevant information which you will require to read before interview is present. Okay, so you make a book now, you note some important points which I am giving you. In your preparation days of 40, 50 days, 60 days, all the relevant information, whatever you get regarding your interview, just note it down in that note. Okay, okay. So see, now I'll start with the basic uh, DAF filling. Okay, because it is the most basic thing you will do when you go for an interview. First, they ask you to fill some DAF form, which is the detailed application form. Now, how to fill this? First of all, when you are given this GAF form, it contains like some leaflets, 4 5 leaflets. In that, some personal information you have to give. Okay. Now, this personal information, there is a what we can say, there is a control how much personal information we can give. That control is in our hands. Okay, you can, what I feel is you should give minimum as information as possible, because the more information you give, okay, the more questions they will ask, because they will have a DAF form in their hand also. Whatever you are submitting now, the chairman will have the DAF form in his hand while he is going for your interview. Okay, while he's taking your interview, DAF form will be in his hand. Okay, so do not furnish any false information in that. He will ask you everything for your DAF only. Okay, 50 to 60% of your questions, I think, will be from your DAF. Okay, by the chairman, because the chairman is may or may not be from technical background. He might be an IAS, IRS, IPS, whatever officer. Okay, so based on practical experience, logical questions he will ask. Okay, some technical questions he might ask, but mostly he will ask you logical questions. And because the DAF is in his hands, he will see something in the DAF which attracts him, and he will ask so many questions on that. Okay, so whatever information you are giving in DAF, you should be very very particular and thorough with it. Okay, so basically now first let us start with your name. When you mention your name in DAF, if that is a very popular name, okay, if you have a popular name, popular surname, he will definitely ask you questions on that. Like one person was named as Parvez Bhati, he was from JNK. Okay, so the chairman is asking him that what do you know about Parvez Musharraf. Okay, so that means before you go to the interview, you can anticipate some questions that this person can ask me about him. Okay, so initially in your interview preparation book, regarding to your name, whatever information is present on the internet, what is your name meaning, how did it originate, anybody personality is having the same name, okay, so you can just note it down. For me, as my surname is Bajaj, they will always ask me, are you a relative of Rahul Bajaj, or how did it started, how is industry started, what is the latest model coming, like this they can ask. Okay, in ISRO interview they're asking me some similar sort of things. So your name also becomes one form of criteria to ask questions, so you should be very thorough with it. Next comes your address. Okay, in the address also, whatever geographical location you are belonging to, so they will ask you questions pertaining to that geographical location also. How? If you are from some Vidarbha region where there is a drought throughout the year, they will ask you so many questions on drought. Myself, I am from North Maharashtra, I am from Bhusawal. So because it is a very it is a major junction for the railways, they are asking so many questions regarding to railways. Okay, railway yard is there, so they will ask so many questions regarding to railways, what you have seen, what you have not seen in Bhusawal. Also, there are two ordnance factories in Bhusawal. So again, that becomes important because we are applying for railway service, we are applying for ordnance service. Definitely, if I mention Bhusawal, they will ask so many questions on that. So geographical location of your address also becomes important. So whatever you're furnishing, be very thorough with that. Prepare a book. Whatever geographical location is mentioned, you prepare some information. You take some information from the internet and you just prepare, and you please go through it every day, so you know that your city or your town is of some historic or geographical importance. Okay. Now, other than that, hmm, other than that, let us come to the preference. What preference you should give for service? See, as per me, there is no specific best preference or very less preferred preference. It totally depends on you. Just because people are saying that railway is better, you should select railways. That should not be the case. Okay, you should only select a service if you really want to work with it. Okay, people are selecting railways because they think that their life will be very easy, or you'll get more pay, or you'll get so many perks, railway pass and all. So people are selecting railways, but they do not know the other side of it. Once you go in the railways, whether you're liking the work or not, whether you are near to your hometown or not, that also matters. Okay, so please think all this criteria. All these things should also be thought before putting the preferences. For me, railways is also good and ordnance is also good because both of them are in my hometown. Okay, so I will prefer that. Some people who are living in military areas, they can go for military engineering services. Later on, they can get transferred to their hometown somewhere. Okay, so like this, you can see what you really want in life. Do you really want to work in railways, or you want to be near to your home, or you want to work in a specific field? So this kind of discussion you should do with yourself. Okay, and then you should finally decide what you really want to work as. Okay, there is no specific best preference or no specific criteria that I should select only railways or railway stores. Okay, so now I want to tell you, see, uh, it's like people, when people are just going into the service, they are not into the service, they will think that so many things are happening inside the service, we are doing some very big work or something. It's not like that. Initially you will start from zero only. Okay, some techno managerial work will be given to you. It is technical also and managerial also. Every service, if you see, when you practically go inside the work field, you will see that it is techno managerial. You have to manage people also, and you have to see the technical field also. Okay, so that is one criteria. You should not expect much that you will get only technical work or only managerial work. That is not the case. You have to play both the roles. Now, when you are asked that why did you fill so and so service as your first service, so be very particular about it. Have a background about it. If you are putting railways, then have a clear idea what railways is doing. If you are from mechanical, then what mechanical engineer is doing. If you are from signal or electronics, what the electronics engineer are doing in railways. Be very particular. You have to explain them why you want to choose railways as your first choice. Okay, convince them. Convincing will give you extra points, extra marks. Okay, they will feel very good if you have able to convince them. For example, they asked me why I wanted railways in my first choice. What I told was, in third year I had undergone one training in railways in Bhusawal itself, 15 days trainings, and in that training I developed one fascination for the locomotive. Okay, I just explained to them that I loved the whole technology, the concept of a locomotive. So I decided from my third year that I will go in railways only. So they were convinced. Okay, he has done training also, he had the certificate also, and he's living in a town where the railway junction is very important. So he's having total idea about it. So they were pretty convinced about it. So that time your interview marks will boost up automatically. Okay, so try to convince them what is your first choice, what is your second choice. They will ask you the questions on it, why you want to choose that as a first choice, second choice. So please be very specific about it. Try to know from the internet what work is going on in that specific service. Okay, also they will ask you why you want to choose so and so service as the last service. So that also you should be very smart to answer. You should not say that that service is bad, sir, or something. You should just say that, okay, because there is a sequence, some of the service had to come last. Because I'm having lesser idea about so and so service, I just put it on the last. And just because of the sequence, it is coming last. I don't have any problem working in that service also. So like that, you should give a neutral answer. Okay. Okay. So now, uh, be very particular what you speak in interview. Okay. If it so if it so happens that, if it so happens that you are saying big things like I will go to railways, I will change the scenario of railways, I will do that, such big things you speak in the interview, they will just understand that you are just speaking and you are doing nothing in real life. Okay, so be very grounded, speak only practical things. Okay, those people have a I have a experience of more than 30 years. Okay, the chairman will be having a more than 30 years experience as a civil servant. Other people who are sitting, they will be from technical background. At least I'm telling you, they will be having experience of 30 for 35 years of teaching in IITs and all. Those might be professors also, those might be retired IES officers also. So we'll be very particular in what you're asking. Okay, so what happens is, when you this DAF is furnished to UPSC, this DAF copy is read by all the three people who are sitting over there. Okay, and chairman is having the whole DAF copy. So they will know about your background also. They will know about where he's from. They will know about your educational qualification also. So now, see, the interview panel. I'll give you an idea about the interview panel. The person who is sitting as a chairman, he's a UPSC board member. Other people, four people who are sitting, those are people from academic background, IIT professors or retired IAS officers. Okay. The last portion of DAF, which can make a very big difference in your interview mark, is the extracurricular activities and hobbies column. They will definitely pay attention to this, because marks everybody is getting, everybody has cleared the written, everybody has come, everybody has technical scenario. But what matters is, how are you different from others? Why should they select you? So this column makes a very big difference. Extracurricular activities you have not done, no sports, nothing. Okay, but hobbies can be a very big, you can say, a big opportunity to express what you are what you are doing in your real life. For me, I have put very different type of hobbies like photography and cooking and gardening. So this gardening thing, they ask me so many questions. What is the soil preparation? How do you do soil preparation? Where do you get the soil from? So I was able to explain, because I'm from a town. I know about soils and all. So I could explain them. And then after that, they asked me about cooking also. So that also I explained, sir. So and so I'm doing. I'm living alone. So I'm doing this and that. So they got pretty convinced, and they were really smiling back at me. So I made a feel good moment. Okay, so make good moments in the interview. Don't make tense moments in the interview. Don't say something which makes the interview hall very tensed. Make feel good moments. Keep on smiling. Like, don't become very tensed, and don't like take your eyes back from them. Try to look them in the eye, maintain eye contact, have a smile, and answer with a pleasant face. Okay, they are not going to they're not going to grill you unnecessarily. They will surely help you. Okay, so hobbies you can choose from a different hobbies. And if you're doing something like, you have a regular thing that you're doing, you can portray that. Okay, no hobby is small, no hobby is big, everything is fair. Okay, but they will ask you questions on that, that is for sure. If a person, for example, he said that drawing was his hobby, so they asked, okay, you have got 1 minute, you draw whatever you want on this paper, and we will see after 1 minute. This person has drawn the map of India very accurately. Map of India. That person has gone more than 145 marks in the interview. There is a true story. I'm not able to remember the name, but that person has got more than 145 marks. He has drawn the map of India. His hobby is drawing. Okay, so he proved. So like this, they might ask you to prove your hobby also. They will ask you questions for that. Okay, that, as a proof. If you are able to prove whatever you have written in the DF, you will definitely get more than 120, 130 marks. Okay, that brings extra points. Now, so this is all about DAF. Now, what about the preparation? What should you study? See, technical background, you have cleared ESE, means you have a very good sound technical background. But what they want to judge is that whether this person is sound enough to handle responsibilities in the government of India. Okay, so they just want to see whether this person is capable enough to handle the mental pressure. This person is capable enough to express his decisions. Is the person capable enough to choose the right way in a stressful situation? Okay, they want to check that confidence level ultimately. So they might ask you some logical questions. They might ask you some technical questions. Like this Binay Mittal sir, he was the board chairman for me. What he asked me was, Dinesh, please tell me about electrical engines and those engines which run on steam or coal. So I told him, sir, this is the difference. Then he asked me about diesel engines also. So now he's asking me why the steam engines and coal engines are not working. Okay, why are you using electrical and diesel engines only? I explained him, sir, that is outdated technology. I explained him how electrical engines are more efficient and all. Then he's asking me, somewhere we are using electrical engine, somewhere we are using diesel engine. Why so? Why cannot we just make one engine operational in whole India? And I explained him, sir, electrical lines cannot reach everywhere. So at that time we are using diesel engine. Also, while climbing mountains, we require more torque, more power. So diesel engines are able to give us more power. So we are using that. So he's asking me which is more efficient, electrical or diesel. So I told him, sir, electrical. The number of conversions of energy is less. Hence, as convergence of energy is less, that is more efficient. Whereas in diesel engines, for it, first the fuel is burned into heat, then heat is converted into other forms of energy, hence loss is more and efficiency is less. So he was pretty convinced that I have a logical thinking approach. There was nothing much technical. There was something which is called as logic. Okay, they want to check your technical logic, so they will ask you such questions. So one person, I have also put my interview. One person was asking me in my interview that how will you calculate the humidity of this room without any instrument? Okay, so I told him I will use one cold surface. I will lock the room. I will use one cold surface. I will collect all the water vapor on that cold surface as water droplets. And I will measure the grams, how much grams of water is there. So divide by the kg of air present in the room. I can find out humidity. I told him this way. He was pretty convinced that my way of thinking was good. Okay. So like this, they want you to relate the technical things to your practical life. Okay. So like this, if you can answer them, they'll be very happy. Then some normal questions they will ask you, some theory of machine, some mechanisms they will ask you, some small circuit diagrams they will ask you. Okay, definitions they will ask you. So it is pretty much the technical. I think it is a easy part. It is not like you have to, like in bark and ISRO, you have to explain everything on board and everything derivations and all. Like this, it won't be there. What would be there is your logical approach. They will test you logically. Your confidence level will be checked thoroughly. Okay, so don't worry, be very calm, answer very calmly. Okay, now comes the other part of the questions. Technical questions are okay, but what about the current affairs and tricky questions? Current affairs we'll speak a bit later. What about the tricky questions? Sometimes they want to test the mental state of a person, that how will this person think in stressful situations. And what they will do, they will ask you some questions which are which you will think that it is irrelevant, but no, it is relevant because they will tell you the mental state of a person. Suppose they will say that you are coming for UPSC interview and you see one person dying on the road. Only you can help. You don't have a cell phone, you have nothing. Either you can attend the interview or either you can save that person. What you will do? So like this they will ask. So if you say that no sir, I will let him die and I will go to interview and I will clear my exam and all. So they will have a judgment of you that how this person is thinking. But other thing is you can say that sir, okay, I will help that person. That person has only one life, but I can give exam every year. So like this, if you say, then they will think, okay, this person has been not been selfish. He is thinking about the other person also. so he is having a good mindset. So like this, they will ask you so many tricky questions that you should answer in a neutral way or in a positive way. Okay, don't get negative. If you get negative, you will get negative marks. That is for sure. Okay, so try to be very neutral. Try to be very positive. Okay. Okay, so sometimes they might ask you that why you wearing a black shirt to the interview. You have worn a white shirt or you have worn a cream shirt, but purposefully they will try to tell you why you wearing a black shirt. So you can ask you can tell them in a polite way, like, sir, I'm very sorry, but I think that I have worn the right color, which is the white. I like this. Like they want to just test you, how you answer things. Okay, okay. And there are some people who want to test your alertness also. So they will ask you, so you have come from south to Delhi, so tell me what all you saw on your way. Okay, you came by flight. Okay, you tell us what all you saw on your way. So they want to see what elements you are focusing on. Okay, they can tell the mentality of a person by knowing what all this person has seen on the way. Okay, so you can tell them about this whatever you have seen on the way. They might they might also ask you that you were sitting in the waiting hall of UPSC. What was the color of the clock over there? Everybody has to wait in the UPSC waiting hall for at least 2 3 hours. Okay, for my case, it was I think 6 to 7 hours I have waited. So I was already knowing the such kind of questions will be there. So I have noted all the number of pillars also in the room. I have noted the number of paintings in the room. I have noted the color of the ceiling also. I have noted the amount of table and chairs kept. So I was expecting that he will ask such question, but he did not ask. But he can ask you that what all you saw. Can you just name some things that you saw while coming to the interview? So when you say this, sir, I saw 15 chairs were kept. I saw that three guards were standing at the entrance. I saw that the carpet color was violet. So they will think that this person is very observant. Once he is seeing things, he is not forgetting. Okay. So that displays an extra skill. So every question they are asking, you can display your knowledge in that question, in the answer. Okay. So be very attentive to details. When you're going in the interview, forget every other things. Okay. From now only till you're preparing for the interview, you forget every other thing. Only think about UPSC. Only think about the interest in the only thing about the interesting things that will take your interview marks to the next level. Okay, one more common question that they are asking is that why you want to join the engineering service. They will ask you why you want to join the engineering service. People are saying that we want fame, we want power. Such kind of answers if you give the, so they will not give you proper marks. Okay, should tell them the reason. Sir, I have studied so and so, and I think that my study will be fruitful only if I work for the nation. Okay, this can be answer. Or you can say, sir, my dream is that I should work for the nation. Even though I cannot join the army, I can contribute to the nation by joining engineering service and all. So such kind of answers, if you give neutral or positive answers, that will work for you. Okay. Okay. Now let us go for current affairs. Okay. So now this also becomes an important part. Why? Because so much things are happening in India. You are going to work for Indian government. Okay. So much things are happening in India. That person who's taking your interview, he might be interested in current affairs because he's a person from non-tech background, IAS background, IFS background. So he might ask you about the foreign policy or what is going on with China, what is going on with Pakistan. I have a little bit idea. Okay, you need not have the full idea because you're going for a technical exam. I have a little bit idea that what is going on in the news. Okay, elections, you can have a bit overview. Refugees, why people are coming in India from the border, should they be allowed? They will ask you such questions. Okay, be neutral. Don't say that I am from this political party, I am from that political party, so I will support this. Okay, that is not needed. You should say that so and so is happening and so decisions can be taken to make the situations better. That's all. Don't just try to do judgment that this government is very bad, that government was very good. Such kind of statements you should not make because you are working for the government. Okay, government might change but your service won't change. Okay, so you should not never ever say bad about the government or the organization. Okay, any organization, if you are previously working with any organization, never ever say bad about it. Okay, try to be very positive and or neutral. Neutral is the best thing. Okay, so current affairs of refugees, elections, Rafael deal. Okay, what is happening within the army also, some news is coming, so just go through it. Okay, all these things you note down in an interview book. Okay, all these current affairs, whatever I'm telling you, all you note down in a interview book. Later on, go through it so that you can understand. Okay, that what all you have to read. Okay, so now what about your uh, physical appearance while you're going for the interview? What should be your physical appearance? My interview was somewhere in the winter, somewhere in November, December. Okay, so I have worn one coat, like a blazer and formals. Okay, because it was very cold in Delhi. But now, if you are having interviews in monsoon, it might be like hot only. So no need to wear like blazer and all. Okay, that is not needed. So just a formal shirt, pant, and tie is enough. Okay, be well dressed. Have a light color shirt to the interview. That makes a difference. Light color makes you look very bright. Okay, so dress to be comfortable. And see, when you go in the interview, always try to make eye contact with the persons you are talking. Also, if person one is asking you questions, 90% of the time look to person one only, and rest of the person you just acknowledge for 2 3 seconds. Like, okay, I'm explaining to all of you. Person one is asking me, but I'm explaining to person one also, and all of you also. Okay, you look to them also. So they will think that this person has a very good communication skill. He is communicating with all of us. Okay, he's explaining very well. Okay, such small thing will make a lot of difference. Okay, now do's and don'ts. What you should do and what should not do. Do means be very neutral. Do be very neutral. Don't take hasty decisions. Okay, if somebody is commenting on your say appearance also, yeah, somebody is commenting and telling that you are from this state is very bad like this. Don't take it very personally. Okay, sir, you might be having a misconception about it. So and so things are there. Like, be very neutral. Don't try to get very angry or something. Okay, and don't make the interviewer also angry. Don't try to contradict their statements. Okay, if you are having some fact data or some things you have read in the newspaper, that you can put, you can always tell them facts. So and so things I've read, so I think I might have a different opinion from what you are having. Okay, but just don't try to cut their topic. Okay, be very polite while you're talking. Okay, and always, if you are thinking that something is correct, something is not correct, take a stand. If you are having a background about whatever topic is going on, suppose some incident has happened which is not good in the country, you can take a stand. You can tell them such and such incident is very bad happening in the country, and I take a stand that this should not happen. Such decision should be taken by the government to make it better. Okay, just a statement. Don't be very angry on it. Okay, be very neutral. Okay, and now what you shouldn't do, you should not beg for your service. You should not say that, sir, please give me marks or I will fail. Sir, my financial condition is not good, so please pass me in the interview. Such kind of statements please do not make. Okay, never ever show selfishness in the interview. Never ever show that you are very needy of the job. If you're showing that you very need the job very badly, they will have a negative impression of you. Okay, don't show that. If you're previously employed, never ever tell bad things about your previous organization. If you are able to resign, you should tell them why you're resigning. You should tell them, sir, I'm resigning for so and so reason. Sir, everybody wants progress in life. Hence, I think I will join engineering service. That will be a very big milestone in my life. So hence, I'm resigning from the previous organization and I'm coming here. Okay. So such kind of things, if you're doing, then that will be a really good. Like, the ambience will be really good if you're able to explain your decisions. The ambience in the interview hall becomes very good. Okay. So such topics I wanted to tell you. Now for your questions, you can comment your questions. I'll answer them. Can I ask you a question? Ankit, in DAF, what thing you should keep in mind when selecting order? See, I told you already. For the DAF, it depends only on you. What kind of profile you want to work in, which is the location that you want to work in. That depends. Okay. Don't just choose railways because everybody else is choosing. Your seniors are telling you to choose that, you choose railways, and later on you will feel, no, yeah, I was better with the Ordnance Factory or something. It was near my house, or the work was very good. So choose what you want to be. See, in the long run, it is like you should feel peace with life. Okay, you should feel contented, satisfied. Okay, so in that regard, please choose the service you really want to work in the long run. Okay. Vikrant, starting date of interview, I think after DAF, at least 2 months, 45 days to 2 months after submission of DAF. Okay, so yeah, you have pretty much time. Try to every day try to collect new information about your work, about your previous workplace, about your current workplace, about Indian Railways, about whatever department you're going to fill, about stores. Try to get information. Okay, I had collected so much information. Like I literally collected every small information with what was happening in Bhusawal Junction. Okay, and I even collected information on how this train is named. Okay, why you are putting such and such numbers 12727 down, 12727 up. These train numbers, how they are specified. All these things I have collected information just because I wanted to explain thoroughly what is going on in the railways and all. So like this, whatever service you want to work in, kindly collect information for that, and simultaneously you work on current affairs, and simultaneously you read from the your technical notes also. Okay, don't neglect technical notes. How do I justify about store services? Okay, so store services, actually, see, so many people are working, so many people are filling store services. You can tell them that you have a interest in non-technical background, or you like indenting items, because store service is something that you will be a supervisor for the whole store, or you will be a manager for the whole store. So you have to, keep record of things. If you have a prior business experience, or you're working in the same field in a private company before, you can tell them the relevance. Okay, even if you are not in that previously in that company, or previously you're not having a business experience, you can tell them, sir, I want to join store service because I think that it is my kind of job. I am interested in this uh, logistics and stuff. Okay, so like this you can tell. Kshitij Giri, tell us your graduation backstory. Graduation backstory, in the sense, I was not a very bright student. Okay, I wanted to learn, but I think I was from a very small town. So yeah, I will tell one more thing. I remembered something. Okay, when I went for interview preparation in one coaching. Okay, after my mains result had come, so interview preparation I went. Some 300 people are sitting in interview preparation hall. If I see to the left, there is a person from IIT Bombay. If I see to the right, there is a MTech from IIT BHU. If I see to the right, there is a person BTech from IIT Delhi. No person is from what we can say private college like me. But that also were a small college. So I got very disheartened that how will I qualify? How will I do it? But I did not give up. I kept on doing my thing. I kept on reading. I kept on preparing. Okay, without even comparing with them. When I was about to go in the interview hall, we are waiting all outside. We have to wait outside. Okay, the registration, everything happened. So 2 3 hours we have waited. We were like 7 people on the chair. Everybody was from HBTI or very big college, VJTI, COAP, Pune, IITs, NITs, like this. I still got very disheartened, but I never gave up. I thought that no, I will succeed. And in the final list, my name was there. Any of those people whom I was talking with, none of the names with. Okay, so even it is possible that if you're not from IIT, also you will crack. Okay, you will definitely crack if you're doing the efforts. If you're taking efforts, you will definitely crack the interview. Whether it is UPSC, it is ISRO, BARC, anything, doesn't matter from any college you are from. Okay, so yeah, backstory in the sense. Okay, I got a pretty much backlogs. Okay, and after second year, I started reading like really nicely from textbooks and all. Third year, fourth year, I scored like really good marks, and later on, my total percentage or aggregate percentage for the all the 4 years is 67.44 only. Okay. Oh, all right. Do we need to mention BTech, MTech projects anywhere? BTech, MTech projects. Yes, you can mention. They will ask you also, but if you want to mention, you can mention. But I don't think there is any space for mentioning in DAF. Okay, so yes, you can just tell them in the interview. If they're asking you what is the best thing you have done in BTech, or tell us something about your BTech, tell us something about yourself, you can tell them that, sir, I'm from so and so place. I have done engineering in so and so thing, and then during my BTech I've learned so and so project, I've done so and so project. So if they ask you, tell us something about yourself, so that this BTech project can be a thing that you can tell and express your views, like express your not views, you can express your skills, that you have done so and so project and so experience you are having. Okay, so that can be a good opportunity, BTech MTech project. Any more questions? You can just comment some questions. Okay, I'll try to answer them. Yes, you can tell me some more questions. Yeah, one thing I would tell you is don't one thing I want to tell you is don't lie about anything. Okay, they are very smart people, 30 years of 40 years of experience. Please don't lie about anything, they will come to know directly. Okay, so try to be very frank and true, and whatever you are feeling from the inside, just say that only. Okay, DF also you feel very like with the correct information only. Okay, please don't lie. How to study application part of subjects? Application is very easy. See, you can see all engineering all around you. Okay, satellite communication is there in your dish TV and all. Okay, just small things. Signaling is there in railways. Mechanical engineering you can see everywhere. Refrigeration is there. Diesel engines are mechanically operated engine. Okay, now such small things they will not ask you about rocket science and all, like to explain the whole derivation or something. They will ask you very logical questions, very simple questions. Some very small definitions also they will ask. Okay, 5 minutes more. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? And don't fear in going in front of them. Okay, those people will not eat you up. They're very genuine people. Knock, just open the door. May I come in, sir? You go sit with them, smile. Just don't go and sit. They will ask you to sit, then only you sit. Okay, then you sit, then you smile, and you can introduce yourself. If they ask you to introduce, you introduce. Some 3 4 lines you prepare for introduction. Don't make it very regular introduction, sir. My name is this, I like this, I am from this state. No, whatever is not given in the detailed application form, that it can be an introduction. Okay, you can tell them, sir, my name is Dinesh, and I am from so and so background, uh, and I like to do I have hobbies like this, and I have done so and so project, and I have so many 3 4 subjects are I like fluid mechanics more, and I like heat transfer more. Like this, you can try to put words in their mind. When you say fluid mechanics and heat transfer, then you can say that the next question might be from those subjects only. So that actually becomes your what is opportunity to put questions in their mind, so that they can ask you from the same subject only. Okay, so try to use such opportunities. They ask a lot of practical questions. They can answer. There are the practical questions are enormous. Lakhs of questions are possible. You cannot study them anywhere. That comes from within. Okay, practical application means at that moment of time you have to think that what that person is asking and what he wants to hear. Okay, so practical questions are not to be studied anywhere. They are just it is just experience. Okay, in BTech level they will not ask you such big questions. They will ask you small questions only. And if you want to see practical applications, then all the industries, whatever industries are working, you see that what is BHEL doing, what is ISRO doing, what is Indian Railways doing. Try to see mechanical engineers are employed in this L&T. L&T employs civil engineers, what they are doing. All about this industries now. All the industries you take and you try to study one by one. You will understand what is the practical application. Okay, you will develop engineering sense in your mind, so that whenever they are asking some questions, you will reply with that engineering logic, engineering sense. Okay, Siddhant. Okay. Any more questions? Type of nuts used in scooter. See, it should be a locking thread. Why? See, logic says that it should be a locking thread. Why? Why it should be locking? Because the scooter will vibrate as it is going. Okay. So when the scooter is vibrating, you will need a thread which is self-locking. So you can say, sir, we will use nuts which are self-locking. Now there is some background you should tell him, even though you don't know the name of that nut, but you know the science behind the nut, that it should not open when it is vibrating. Okay, so such kind of things if you tell, then at least some marks he will give, some positive approach will be. Okay. Abhishek Kumar. Previous questions from PSU. See, PSU questions also sufficient. PSU or ISRO questions for technical background, you can learn from that also, Abhishek. Okay, ISRO questions you see, BARC previous questions you see. That much technical is okay. Yes, yes. For IES 2019, okay, you should solve test series. If you want, if you are asking for written exam, you should solve test series, and you should solve Park and ISRO questions that are like really good questions for solving. All the technical aspects would get clear. Okay. MTech, no. MTech, your main specialization, whatever your MTech specialization is there, Vikrant, you can study that. Plus, you can study MTech project or BTech project. That will be asked from. Okay, that is expected from to do that. Okay, just one or two questions more, then I'll be going. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Okay, any queries are there, you can always message me on my page or on my profile. I will try to answer them. Okay, try to be consistent. See, you have come a long way. 90% of your preparation and 90% of your efforts are already done. Now the rest 10% you should do, and that will surely grant you success. Okay, all the best. All right, bye.